Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
DJ Miller.
Hey guys, I'm John Manganello. Welcome to the after show for Silicon Valley, episode 6, entitled Homicide. I loved tonight's episode, and we're going to talk all about it. We're going to break it down. Before I get ahead of myself, though, let me tell you where you can find me. First of all, if you want to tweet at us live tonight, our hashtag is ABTV Silicon Valley. Tweet at us. I'll be checking my newsfeed. I'm not texting anybody, except maybe, like, my dad. He's like, John, text me back. I'm like, Dad, calm down.
You know what? It's important.
I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
And you can find me personally on Twitter and Instagram at Johnny Mangs.
What up? I'm Kelly McInerney, and you could find me at Holly Weirdo on Instagram and Twitter.
Now, you guys, tonight's episode was action-packed. I was laughing out loud the whole time. It was really interesting. I was actually reading an article about it tonight, right after I saw the episode, saying that this episode felt like its own episode of a sitcom as opposed to like a cable comedy, meaning it stands alone. You could just show it to someone who has never seen the show before and they'd be able to catch on.
Yeah.
And
it had silly like storylines that I feel like were very like sitcom-y.
Right, like
Yeah. But
yeah.
R-rated kind of, like two assholes.
Right, exactly.
Great.
All right. Let's dive right into it. I want to start first with Gavin Belson and his live stream of that UFC-style event at Nucleus, and how disastrous that was.
Yeah, that was... I'm really glad it was, though.
I know. They need to be taken down a notch.
Yeah.
It's funny to me because Nucleus is obviously worse.
Well, they're not prepared.
No.
He doesn't realize that.
Well, and it's not only that they're not prepared because, yes, of course they're not prepared. They have all the money in the world, but they just don't have the brains behind it. That's why we need Richard. And that's why I'm so excited to see Richard do well.
I just loved, though, that it froze on, like, what did they say? It was, like, this crazy fight exchange that was, like, the most important part of the fight froze. Like, that's comedy.
I love when Gavin Belson gets knocked off his pedestal. So the whole office or the whole company is sitting in that big theater or auditorium watching this fight, and Nucleus is like, we're going to make this big promo event for Nucleus, and we're going to live stream this fight, but it froze and everybody was freaking out.
Yep.
I mean, the people at Pied Piper were like, yes, this is our moment. We look better. And many of the people at Pied Piper said, well, we should try to do a live stream event, but actually do it well.
Yeah.
So they do that. Carla is over, our new female Pied Piper employee. And I'm wondering if you have any thoughts about how the guys think the girls just automatically will be best friends.
It's funny because it's something that you don't realize it's true until somebody says it. Like this show, it's like, wow, that is true. Like people do
You've
that.
Noticed that.
Yeah.
So if you're with a group of guys and another girl is there, but only one other girl, the guys are like, oh, well, you'll get along. Yeah. That's so insulting.
Yeah, well, sexism is still around.
What? No, I'm just kidding. So you related to that moment then?
Yeah, it was so fun. And then how he brings wine because he thinks all girls like what, like.
Well, all reasonable people like wine, but you're right. We shouldn't just limit it at girls.
Yeah.
No, you're right. So what did you think about their idea? Like, were you happy they went and sort of walked in the footsteps of Nucleus and did a live stream event? I
mean, I thought it was a good idea, even though Richard was like, that's not what we're out to do.
Right, because Richard didn't want to do it at first.
But I thought it was good because, like, just to kind of play the Gavin Belson's game. Like, oh, yeah, you want to show us how you're good, but you suck?
Right.
We're gonna kick your butt,
Do you think Gavin, Belson, and Nucleus and Hooli would exist in the real world?
They kind of do, I feel like, though, don't
How?
they?
Who?
Isn't that like Google and, you know?
I would say it's like Google if Google didn't have their shit together.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Google works.
But I feel like Hooli has other things that work. This is just a new. This
True.
is like Apple Maps. That's what they refer to.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fair. You're right.
Yeah, just another side project that's not working for them.
Right.
Yeah, that's why he's so rich and stuff. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. So Apple Maps, it's sort of like what was that thing that was supposed to be the new Facebook that Google did? The circles.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's that called?
I think it's just called Google Circles,
Google
right?
Circles.
Google Plus.
Google Plus, right? Thank you. And I'm like, who uses that? Do you use that, Steven?
Nobody uses Google Plus.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Live from the source. All right. So that happened, and they do the live stream. So they partner with a company called Homicide, the energy drink. First of all, that's hysterical.
Yeah.
But the energy drink is called Homicide.
And their hats say "I don't give a fuck" on them, and like all that was their like
right, that was their slogan. Right. And Aaron Anderson, an old friend of Ehrlich, right? Is in charge of Homicide energy drink, and he's kind of a douchebag.
Yeah.
I like how we meet all these nuanced douchebags in each episode.
I know, you realize there's more than one type of douche.
Oh, there's a whole spectrum of douche.
Yeah.
Write it down, kids. I quote, that's my line. I want credit for that.
Yep.
Spectrum of douche.
There you go.
So Aaron Anderson, or as they call him, AA.
Double A.
For double a-hole.
Yep.
I don't know how much swearing you can do. Steven.
You could swear.
Are we swearing too much?
Ass is okay.
Okay, but ass. Got it. Okay, we'll say a-hole. So AA, Aaron Anderson, is known by Ehrlich and the kids they grew up with as double a-hole, right? Mm-hmm. And he turns out to be quite the a-hole.
Yeah.
Do you have any... Okay, that was my chair, in case anyone's wondering. Speaking of a-holes, my chair is very squeaky.
You got a squeaky butthole. No, I thought... I didn't realize he was gonna be a dick until he put like the no logo.
Yeah,
he seemed like a reasonable guy at first,
right?
Because sure, Ehrlich is a lot to handle sometimes.
Oh, and he was absolutely right.
Yeah.
He pulled Richard aside and said,
"Don't
your
bring
buddy
him back.
Ehrlich, don't bring him back. I don't want him here. He's impossible. He's the Kool-Aid man."
Yeah.
And it's so true. He just busts through walls. He just tears things down. It's like sometimes, and I've had this complaint about the character of Ehrlich too. I think he's a hysterical character, but sometimes it seems like a stretch. Mm-hmm. Like you wouldn't get anything done.
But he's smart in certain aspects, you know?
No, you're right.
He has some good points to him. Mm-hmm. But he's good in small doses, I feel like.
He is, and he's good at talking the talk, not necessarily walking the walk. And I think I know very little about business. I'm not business savvy.
Yeah.
But I think that's an important part, to be able to present yourself.
Yeah. And last season he was great with talking with the companies. Mm-hmm. So you're right. He's a good talker, smooth talker. Not all the time smooth, but.
And he's definitely the counterpart to Richard, because Richard is everything meek. But the talker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's the brains.
Yeah.
But
Jinx.
But I think we need a manager, and I don't know that Jared is cutting it, because Jared is bizarre in his own way.
He's so funny though, because he's just such a character. I think he has the logistics of a manager, but he's just weird. You know, he's just very left field.
He's unapproachable.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sweet, but he really doesn't know anything.
He's a robot, you know? He's a sweet robot.
This is a good segue into the SWAT plotline, which I thought was so funny.
Yeah.
That felt, and the article I was mentioning earlier, that talked about this plotline and how it felt a little sitcom-y, a little like 90s sitcom. But
it was refreshing to see on this show, because this show, it's a Mike Judge show, so it's gonna be like R-rated a lot, you know. Right. And it was kind of, it was a dark storyline because they wanted to kill somebody or debating on killing somebody, but it was just silly. And sometimes you just want to see a silly thing.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
And as long as there's substance somewhere else in the show, I'm okay with there being a silly B-plot.
Yeah.
So just to refresh here, and even catch me up, because I watched the show earlier today. What happened was Dinesh and Guilfoyle are working at Homicide, getting ready for this big event that Pied Piper is doing. And this girl named Gina, who works at Homicide, comes up to him and starts flirting, it seems like, with Dinesh.
Yeah.
And we know Dinesh loves women and maybe is a little sexually deprived.
Yeah, so any attention, he's like, oh, she loves me. We can get together.
Right, but then he finds out Gina wasn't hitting on him, or maybe she was, but she has a boyfriend. This, like, sexy...
Blaine.
What do you call it, daredevil?
Yeah. Hey, he was quite the looker.
He was pretty good looking.
I think so.
And the beard, and the face, all of it.
The eyes?
Maybe we can get him on the show.
Be great.
So Blaine, if you're out there, give me
Call
a call. Give me a call. So anyway, they find out that Blaine's formula for this big dangerous stunt he's going to do is off. It's not calculated right. And they're like, if someone doesn't tell him that his calculations are off, he's going to die.
Yeah.
Doing the stunt. We need to tell him he needs to change some numbers, and then he'll be safe.
Yeah, but right as they're about to tell him, he turns
freaks
into
out.
a douche.
He turns into another douche. God, there's so many good douchey characters on this show.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to hear from you guys. Stop talking to me. I'm getting prepared for this big stunt. So they're like, okay. Fine, go ahead and die. So Dinesh and Guilfoyle have this like inner turmoil. Do we tell him his formula's off, or do we let this douchebag kill himself? And they use the SWAT chart.
That's how you know they're smart, though, because instead of just like talking now, they're like, no, we're gonna think of like what was it? Strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and I wrote strengths again.
And threats.
Threats.
Yeah, and that was Jared's idea.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Well, not to do it in particular with Blaine, not to use a SWAT for Blaine, but they introduced the idea of SWAT to these guys.
Oh, really?
Remember at the beginning of the episode, Jared's like, oh, we should weigh out our options. Here's a little board I made, and he pulls it from behind the cabinet. He's like, SWAT. So that's why they are thinking about it.
That's a great, good job. That was a good job, you know?
No, you're a good job.
Thanks.
By the way, side note, Kelly and I were out at the same place last night, and guess who else was there? Tell him.
Thomas Middleditch.
Richard on the show.
Did I see him? No, but this guy has a story.
I did. I went up to him. I said, hey, you're really good on the show. And he was so sweet.
Really?
Very soft-spoken. Like, even more soft-spoken than his character.
Wow, that's weird, because I saw him at South by Southwest during the Final Girls. It was a Q&A, and I asked him about, like, what's like improving, and he was kind of, like, douchey about it. He's like, I know how to do the little tricks of the trade. Like, that's how it kind of...
Really?
Yeah. But
he was very sweet.
He was on stage, though, with all of them, so maybe...
And I've had 2 mini conversations with him in my life. One, outside of an improv theater he performs at all the time. I said, you were great. And he said, thank you so much. And then last night I said, you were great again. God, I'm such a fanboy.
You know what? Why not?
Hey, YOLO.
YOLO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't believe I just said YOLO.
Oh, I say it all the time.
Okay.
It's a prob.
It's a prob. It is a prob. No, it's not a prob. Anyway, so what we were saying, they weigh out the pros and cons of telling this guy that he needs to, or whether or not they're going to tell him he needs to recalculate his formula or else he's going to die. And
that moment when he walks in, though.
Yes.
It was like the fun, because that was my first like big laugh out loud. Like big.
It was so funny.
And you didn't think, and he was there so long that you didn't think he was gonna. I didn't think he was gonna notice because he was such a dumb dude.
I know.
But yeah.
So he walks in to them making this chart, saying, "Oh well, if he dies, we can get with his girl, or we can do this, or he's an asshole." And
have sex with his mom. Too.
Right. I know. I want to pause and look at all those note cards.
He's not gonna have a face or something.
Something like that.
Such stupid stuff.
I know, but really funny.
Yeah.
And he's standing in front of this big chart that has all these cards on it that are basically really insulting things about why it would be good if this guy died, and he doesn't see this board behind him, and he's apologizing to Dinesh and Guilfoyle and being like, I'm sorry I was a douche, I'm sorry. And they're like, oh, it's okay. And before he leaves, he turns around
and sees it.
I knew he was going to see it.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe he would be too stupid to understand. Mm-hmm. But no.
No. And, yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? It wasn't going to work out at Homicide anyways, because on the opposite end.
Right.
Same thing, during the same time.
Right. Richard notices that Homicide is not plugging Pied Piper in their marketing. Mm-hmm. So this whole event they've staged, which is supposed to, promote Pied Piper and Homicide together, it just says Homicide on all the marketing.
Yeah, powered by Homicide.
Right. So Richard goes to Aaron Anderson, AA, and says, hey, you need to put our name on the marketing. And Aaron Anderson says, no, I don't. And
maybe next time.
Maybe next time. He's like, no. Richard's like, no, there's not going to be a next time. Mm-hmm. And Richard says, you know what? Ehrlich was right. You are a double A-hole.
And he
lifts his shirt. AA lifts his shirt, and he has a bag. I've never heard of this before.
I don't know if it exists.
An external defecation bag. So he not only has his one butthole, he has an external one as well. Buttholes. So that's why people called him double A-hole when he was a kid.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes you deserve it, though.
I think he deserved it.
Yeah. I mean, so what? I don't know. Maybe you deserve those 2 buttholes because you're not a nice guy.
Totally.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I liked that at the end they did use a live stream.
Yes.
Not an exciting thing, but a condor egg hatching.
Yes.
And you could actually
17 people were watching.
Yeah, you could actually watch it live on piedpiper.com now too, which is weird.
Wait, like you and I?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pied Piper has a website.
They do.
Yeah.
Did you guys know this? You knew it.
I tweeted about it.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I'll have to go home and look at that.
Yeah.
Also, the very end of the episode, sort of the button to the episode, is Homicide did end up going joint marketing for their live stream of this big scary thing.
Brain rapers.
And it was Endframe.
Yeah.
Who stole the code.
It starts with an A.
The algorithm from Pied Piper in the episode earlier on in the season.
Yep.
Endframe. And I know Endframe's coming back next week because I have a friend, Napoleon Tavale, who is in Endframe. He's one of the men in Endframe, and he will be a guest.
Nice.
On our show.
Awesome.
If that's okay. Is that okay, Steven? Yeah, he's giving me the thumbs up. So we're going to have a guest from the show on. We're really excited about that.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't think anything. Well, at the time I was like, oh, that's bad, but they erased it in time, Mm-hmm. But it's good to see another bad guy.
Totally.
Let's see what they have to. They're gonna do something illegal, maybe. It was in the previews to it. They said. Did you watch the previews?
No.
All right. Well, they alluded to like something. Oh, we can't do that. That's illegal. And then Guilfoyle's like, maybe it's worth it to do that.
Word.
So.
Ooh, I'm worried. No, Pied Piper, come on. Because they have the resources. They have the algorithm or the...
Yeah.
Yeah, and...
But they stole their algo. Like, they had the same exact one.
I know.
So.
But can't Pied Piper sue them?
No, because they gave it to... There's no proof,
Man, that's terrible.
And Russ is pissed.
Oh, man. Yeah. By the way, he had a nice little shirtless scene today. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Russ is ripped.
Yeah, well, I mean... He's got a lot of time, I feel like.
Yeah, and a lot of money.
Yeah.
I always say, if I could pay someone to feed me, I'd be much healthier.
Yeah, well, yeah, celebrities, that's why they got great bodies, because they have chefs.
Also, I just ate a cookie, so I can't really speak.
I had 3.
Yeah, but, okay.
Killing it. And mac and cheese earlier.
Ooh, yeah.
It was a crazy Sunday.
Anyway, on that note, do we want to go straight into predictions?
Sure.
Let's do it. Prediction time.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right. Kelly, you want to start?
Oh, man, I don't have anything.
Oh, come on. Take a stab in the dark.
I think, they showed Big Head. And Gavin was like, if anybody here has any, brains to do anything, do something. And then Big Head's like, maybe after lunch. Well, so I feel like Gavin's plan to have Big Head, kind of break down, Pied Piper to show that Pied Piper was at Hooli is not working out, and it's not gonna work out.
Right.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like he's not gonna. He's too dumb. Like, he's not dumb, smart, book-wise, but he's not socially.
No.
Yeah. So I feel like it's just gonna all fall apart. It's slowly unraveling, clearly, for Nucleus and Hooli.
Right.
And we're gonna see that next week.
I can't wait. I want them to go down. I really don't like Gavin.
Yeah.
Especially with his spiritual advisor.
Yeah.
Who...
He's a pain. And I want to see them do maybe hack into Endgame or something and take it down.
Yeah.
Do something illegal like that.
Oh. End frame or end game?
End frame.
Is it end frame?
I think you're right. It's end frame.
But I know
it's going to be an end game for end
frame. That's what you meant. There it is. There it is. My prediction is that since we're getting to episode 7 of 10 this season, Pied Piper is going to pull it together. Mm-hmm. They're going to figure out what it takes to beat end frame, but I think that's not going to be I think that'll be the cliffhanger of this season. So I'm going to say that end frame in the upcoming episodes is going to overpower Pied Piper. Unfortunately.
Oh.
And that's going to be the big drama. Because Nucleus is useless, but end frame is an actual threat because they're using Pied Piper's technology.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, you guys. Anything else?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Then we're going to say goodbye to you. I hope you're having a beautiful Sunday night and have a great rest of your week. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Please tweet at us all week long. We really do check Twitter, and we check the comment feed on our YouTube channel. So you can tweet at us at #ABTV Silicon Valley. And if you want to find me, and who doesn't, at Johnny Maines is where you can find me on Twitter and Instagram.
And I'm Kelly McInerney. You could find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo.
All right, you guys. We'll see you next time. Mwah.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
And buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.